Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Jamil. In this video, we are going to see weekly time frame on Alibaba stock, then daily, then 50-minute time frame. So let's start with weekly time frame first. Last week we discussed on here, as soon as cross 120, we can plan to buy on here because market look positive according to our analysis. And also important point we discussed on here, suppose if market did not move anywhere, market pause on here. That means it's a sign of the breakout. And hit the like button if you remember in our previous weekly video exactly we have done discuss on that things because market was continuously going on upside. We discussed without any retracement market cannot break its important level. No doubt 120 was the important level for the market. That's the reason we discussed after continuously upside it need a retracement, that it will be breakout. Now how we can understand if market preparing for the breakout. There's a two kind of learning about the breakout. First, suppose it's important level. For this 120 going to be the most important level for the market, no doubt. Suppose it's the important level and market continuously going on upside after hit his first important level, which is for assuming 120 continuously after upside momentum, after hit is important level, market need a retracement. After retracement, as soon as it break is high, which is high swing, that means we have to planning to buy on here. This is going to be our buying sign. This is the first kind of learning for the breakout. Second learning for the breakout, suppose after continuously momentum is hit his important level. After hitting important level, instead of retracement, market start to spending the time near on its resistance level. That means after spending the time near on its resistance level, as soon as it break the high, this is also the place where we have to buy on here. This is the first learning and this is the second learning. And you can see here exactly we discuss on here. Market continuously going on upside. If it is continuously going on upside, market needs retracement. After retracement, as soon as it break the high, this is the place where we should have to buy on here. But you can see here last 2 weeks after continuously momentum, market didn't made a retracement. Instead of retracement, market start to expanding the line. This is the first week, second week, market 2 week market pause based on weekly time frame. That means this kind of second learning market is anticipating for the breakout. Remember, this is the only sign of the breakout. This is the most easiest things you can learn about the price action. And you can see here, market last 2 week market did not move here. So that means market is preparing, buyer are accumulating here for the breakout, that to be an upside. Note 120, 21 could be the most important resistance level. You can see here last previous time market sharply fall down on here from this place. So this is the seller zone. In a seller zone, buyer need accumulate like that, like spending the time 1 to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, market need to be paused. As soon as you break the high, this is the place where we have to be aggressively buying. This buying market can become positive without any retracement in one direction. And this buying we can see 30, 134, 35, even 140 we can see in one direction momentum, that to be after breakout this level. So suppose you can see here similar analysis, suppose market same analysis, suppose market didn't move anywhere and one more week market pause on here, that to be in weekly chart on similar this level, which is 120, 121. Remember, after if one more week market pause on here, chances are very high we have to be prepared for the breakout for the very big upside momentum, that to be in one direction. I hope you understand my point, friends. But no doubt we can plan to buy on here as soon as it cross 121, that to be in intraday, that to be in Monday, Tuesday, any day of the coming week. As soon as it break the high, we can plan to buy on here. But if one more week market pause on here, that means it's a sign of the breakout. You can see here after continuous breakout, market made a retracement. As soon as it break, market made accumulate on here, that to be in buyer zone. As soon as it break the high, we can plan to buy on here. I hope you understand my point, friends. So I hope the weekly view has been clear on here. So let's check the daily time frame, how we can understand the price movement. No doubt on a daily time frame is tricky. Market is trading on here. No doubt it look like market almost break out this level, which is 120. You can see first hit this resistance level and retrace, second time hit this level, which is resistance level. Then third time is the breakout. After breakout, market trying to sustain its upside. But you can see here is a inverted hammer candle. No doubt inverted hammer candle is the first sign that market turn to be a negative from the positive sign. But there's a few learning about the inverted hammer candle, how we can understand this inverted hammer candle going to be the sign of the selling. First thing, inverted hammer candle will going to be the valid as soon as it cross this low. So that means this low will going to be most important have to be break. If this swing, if this low is going to be break down, then we can plan to sell on here. That means seller are there, selling pressure can be possible only this after break down this level. Suppose inverted hammer candle and next day market open gap up. That means as soon as the open gap up, it will be immediately buying scenario, because no doubt all of the seller has been short here. The moment it will be gap up, market will not going to be wait here, and it will be sharp upside momentum. All of the seller will going to be trapped on here. That means no doubt it's some selling, it's a place of the selling, but we are not going to plan to sell on here, because you can see here from this day, no doubt on seller try to sell here, even on here seller try to sell on here, but buyer somewhere able to close market that to be in higher side. That means this is the place 118, 117, even 115. All of this place will going to be for the buying scenario. If this, suppose if on Monday to Tuesday, even Wednesday market start trading on this level, remember the moment you will see any positive scenario that to be in this kind of level 18, 17, 150, we have to plan to buy on here, because all of this place will going to be for the buying scenario. This is the place will going to be for the support. This is the place where buyer will be waiting for the buying here again. And the price we can see here continuously buying, retracement, and it's a upside breakout and small retracement, then it will be higher high. This is generally buyer market work on here. So suppose on Monday, if this swing going to be breakdown, we are not going to be planned for the aggressive selling. But yes, there's a few conditions we are going to see on 50-minute time frame how we can exactly planning to take a trade on here. So I hope the daily view has been clear on here. 118, 16, 15, all of this place will going to be support level. We can plan to buy on here instead of selling. But there's a one condition, 112, 130 will going to be the most important level for the market. Remember, if you see our previous weekly chart, we also discussed same things on here. 112, 110 will going to be the most important level. Any candle closing below, market can be aggressively selling on here. And remember, if you remember, on last month, Monday, first day of the week, market tried, you can see here this candle, seller definitely try to sell on here below, which is important level we discussed in our last week, 112, 112 and 11. You can see seller try to sell 11, but sudden reverse market able to close on upside. That means all of the buyers, those seller try to sell on here, they has been trapped on here. So let's take the 50-minute time frame to clarify more on here how exactly market was trade and how we can plan for the upcoming Monday. On 50-minute time frame, if you remember in last Monday, I think, yeah, exactly, yeah. This is the place we discussed on here 100, 114, 130. We need a candle closing that to be in 50-minute time frame. If any candle closing, then market can become aggressively selling pressure on here. But you can see here after gap in opening, don't know, market try to sell on here, but sudden reverse market turn into become very big upside momentum. That means, remember, on a price action important, you have to just understand the price. If you understand the price in the market, trading can become more easy. So I hope you understand the point, friends. So how you can plan on here? Note, you can see here 120 will going to be the most important level. There's 120 will going to be the most important level. And one more important point, why 120 going to be the important level? You can see here this is a very big candle that to be in green candle. Remember, whenever you see this kind of candle, first things you have to be in your mind, this is the place will going to be support. This is the place where market can reverse, because you and me cannot make this kind of candle. No, there's a few big player who buy on here. If big player buy on here, that means this is the place where going to be preferred as a support. And you can see here on Friday, no doubt buyer tried to go on upside, but sudden reverse market pause on here. And now you can understand why this pause cannot be continued that to be in on last Friday, because this is the player. This player trying to protect this level. So I hope you got my point, friend. I can see here big player momentum. It's a sharp buy. It's a sign that buyer are still there in the market. But suppose on Monday there's a three possibility how we can plan to take a trade. Suppose market can be open, gap up, flat, or even gap down. So let's how we can plan to take a trade after opening on here. Suppose if market directly open gap up. After opening gap up, then we have to be wait for 1 day, because market will going to be volatile. You can see here it was continuous selling, it's the first pullback, then it's the selling again. Remember one point, if you see after continuous selling, it's the first pullback and this green candle low has been taken up. That's means this is the place where fresh seller has been activated on here. That means 123, 123.50, 124 going to be the resistance for the market, and 120, 121 going to be support for the market. So market will going to be on a range. So trend will not going to be clear, if anything, gap up opening. Suppose after gap up opening, market able to close on higher side, the next day we can plan to buy on here. We can plan to take a trade for the breakout. So, and similarly, if after opening gap up, if market closing on that level, then we can get the confidence, yes, market not able to hold on upside, and next day as soon as it break 120, we can plan to sell on here. But remember, 120 is going to be the most important level for the market. If about to selling, we need a candle closing. We need a candle closing for the selling. We don't want a week that the week market is make on here. You can see we don't talk about this week. We need a candle closing. This kind of strong candle, we need a candle closing below 120. That means it's a confirmation. Yes, seller is strong on here, and we can plan to sell on here. Suppose after opening gap down, as we discussed on daily chart, 180, 70, 60, all of this place will going to be for the buying scenario. After opening gap down, that to be on buyer range, we can plan to buy on here, but there's a mandatory, we have to see this kind of price action, higher high price action must, we have to see only price action we can plan to buy on here, unless we are not going to be take any trade after opening gap down, because you can see here on that level on somewhere 108, 119 to 160, almost 3-point market drop down on here. After down on here, it's a range, and it's a range breakout. That means somewhere buyer are there. If anything gap down, if market again start to making this kind of range, we cannot expect that it will be breakout again. It will be, if market start to become sideways after opening gap down, that means it's a sign market can be breakdown on here. I hope you got my point, friends. Remember, whatever I said on here on my video, it came from my own experience, because I, as a trader, I always trade and I see the market structure, how market move, and this is what I am going to share with you. So I hope you're going to like the video, friends. Remember, it is not a confirmation that I'm going to give you. It is just on the probability, based on the price action, I prefer to take a trade. So I hope you got my point, friends. So after opening gap down, after only seeing price action means we need a higher high. After higher high, that to be in 50-minute time frame, we can plan to buy on here. And if suppose if anything flat, we have to be wait for the couple of minutes, because after opening flat, you can see sharp selling, market flat, and it should be continue for the selling. For this selling, we have to be wait, because as we discussed, 120 going to be the most important level. Suppose after opening flat, if any candle closing, that to be in 50-minute time frame 120 below, we can plan to sell on here, and the target is going to be 117, 16 going to be for the target. I hope you understand my point, friends. If you understand, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video. Thank you, and thank you very much.